Are you serious? Are you serious? Okay, folks, we know the Bible tells us in the book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 27, about the covenant with many. And in the last days, this covenant, which will literally require many nations, is being worked on. Matter of fact, articles just coming out today. Jared Kushner, of course, I reported on this last week, but now there's an article in Bloomberg reflecting on Jared Kushner's meeting last week in the White House with many nations about the Middle East peace. Matter of fact, the headline, Jared Kushner's dreams of a Mideast peace are alive. His strategy of developing a relationship with the Saudi crown prince is a step in that direction, folks. Matter of fact, it could have been easy for anybody to miss it, but what Secretary of State Rex Tillerson got fired and all the other things were going on, shakeups in the White House, people did not realize that Jared Kushner was holding this Middle East Peace Summit right in the White House. And as we reported last week, there were people there from many different nations. Alongside with Jared Kushner was the Israelis. Israel was there. And along with him, a lot of Arab states that came in. Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. The Egyptians were there. There was all kinds of nations out of Europe. The Jordanians were there. Look, United States, Canada, we just don't know the extent. There was many nations in the White House talking about humanitarian needs of the Palestinian people that are in Gaza. Now, Hamas controls the Palestinians because nobody represented Palestinian people in this meeting, although they really should have been there. This was all about helping them. But that's part of the peace process, and that is the Palestinian Authority and Mahmoud Abbas, their president, playing hardball to try to get everything he can out of this deal. Remember, they had the deal. The deal they are scratching to try to get right now, they had this deal. It was on the table in 1997. It was on the table in 2000. And Yasser Arafat rejected it twice, saying all or none. But this is a different time. We're in a different set of players, and the Saudi Arabians are participating in this as well. And so as Jared Kushner gets involved, and they have a common enemy here, with Iran being enemies, direct enemies right now with Saudi Arabia and Israel, there's a common enemy which kind of creates unity in a difficult way. But when we're watching and studying biblical prophecy, the Bible tells us that we're going to see a covenant with many. We are going to see it, and we also know that there is all kinds of activity going on in Israel in regards to the building of the third temple. And as all those pieces and parts are getting in place, there's no question. President Trump declaring that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, and the fact that the moving of the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem coming up on May 14th, 2018, the 70th anniversary of Israel as a nation, is just huge. Also, there is the announcement by the Sanhedrin court of the half shekel. They've made this new half shekel, which is required, of course, that if you go to the temple to pray, every man is to bring a half shekel. This new half shekel that's been minted and sanctioned by the Sanhedrin does have on the face of it King Cyrus and President Donald Trump. They even call it the temple coin. Now, some would say, well, it's just symbolic, don't worry about it. Here's the deal. Also, the nation of Israel's government has declared the new train station that's going to be right there at the base of the Temple Mount is going to be called the Donald J. Trump train station, for thanking him for recognizing Jerusalem. So there's a lot going on. What was that train station going to do? Train tracks are being built, the infrastructure is being put in place. This train station should be completed, they say, in 4 years. It's to bring the worshipers to the Temple Mount to worship on the Temple Mount. Now, that's not just Jews that would come there to pray maybe at their third temple. It could possibly be there or in the process of being built, but also to Muslims when they come to the Temple Mount to pray during Ramadan in the Al-Aqsa Mosque or the Dome of the Rock Mosque, or also Christians and tourists that are coming in to visit the Holy Land, to come inside to Jerusalem, the old city, to go up on the Temple Mount and to observe all the things that's going on as they follow the footsteps of Christ. So all of this is happening simultaneously, that the nations that make up the Ezekiel 37, 38, especially Ezekiel 38, where the nations are starting to gather that are going to participate in the great battle against Israel. Okay? And certainly you can see Iran, Turkey, Russia, and some of the others that are already beginning to converge in that area. So there's a lot going on in the Middle East. But Jared Kushner has a strategy, and he has been working on it. He has been to Saudi Arabia so many times now, it's unbelievable. It's not just there. It's the discussion he's having with King Abdullah II of Jordan and all the rest of the Middle East leaders. You can see what's happening. They are putting the pieces and parts together, the negotiation of the deal. It looks as if it's moving behind the scenes quicker than ever before, and we're staring at a biblical prophetic moment. The Bible does tell us in Daniel 9, chapter 27, again, it says, and he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. We'll say that's 7 years. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations, he shall make it desolate even until the consummation, and that determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Jesus said, when you see this, the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place, whosoever readeth, let him understand. Folks, it's coming. The building of the third temple and the covenant with many. The covenant with many is coming. It is biblical prophecy. And so what does that mean for me and you? What does it mean for you and all of us? It means you need to be right with God. It means seriously you need to be born again and call upon the name of Jesus and allow Christ into your heart, because certainly we're living in this last days. There is no live broadcast today at 12 noon. I'm actually spending the day with Irvin Baxter and going to be recording at his studios. But tonight I'll be with all of you with a live broadcast at approximately 10 p.m. Eastern. It could be a little bit, I could be 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late, due to the fact that I'm having a dinner meeting down here with all the Watchman speakers. But I will do a live broadcast tonight, approximately 10 p.m. Eastern. All right? Let everybody know. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. We're in, folks, the last days. Are you saved? Are you serious?